Welcome back to my channel. I'm NDL Gamer. After spending a long time playing DC Dark Legion, I've decided to create a tier list. Using all my in-game experience, I'll try to make this tier list as accurate as possible. First of all, the tier list in this video is not final at this moment. I've set it up this way just to make the video easier to follow. S plus tier includes heroes that require 40 shards to assemble. In this video, I won't be discussing these weapons because they are very hard to obtain. It could take you several months to get them unless you're extremely lucky. Once more weapons become available, I will update this again. I truly appreciate your feedback, as it helps me improve my videos. If there's anything you're not satisfied with, feel free to leave a comment. And if you find this helpful, a few words of support would greatly help the video and the channel grow. Thank you all. Now let's get into the main topic. First, let's talk about Joker and Superman. There's absolutely no doubt that they belong in the S plus tier. Superman is essential for battles that need to be finished quickly, such as in simulator mode. On the other hand, Joker is crucial for prolonged battles, especially in Combat Cycle 1 mode, where he helps you gain more resources, particularly gems. Since there are no clear individual stats, my rankings are based on skills, overall stats, and synergy within teams. This means the tier list may not be 100% accurate, so I hope you understand. Next up, Constantine. He possesses an incredibly powerful AoE magic damage skill set. Perfect synergy with Justice League Dark. First, let's talk about Constantine's outstanding synergy with Justice League Dark. This effect increases spiritual amp, which amplifies magic damage based on the number of Justice League Dark heroes in your team. The more allies he has, the stronger Constantine becomes. Devastating AoE magic damage. Constantine's skill combo, Summoned Flame and Exorcism Blast, creates firestorms that deal massive area damage, wiping out enemies on the battlefield. Additionally, when paired with Black Magic Surge after using his ultimate, his damage output skyrockets. Deadly damage over time. On top of his burst damage, Constantine inflicts damage over time with Power Curse. Every passing second, enemies take additional magic damage, causing them to fall quickly. Scaling power with ultimate. Let's not forget Black Magic Surge, a skill that makes Constantine stronger over time. Each time he uses his ultimate, his damage increases further, turning him into a true destruction machine. Why Constantine deserves S plus tier. With his devastating AoE damage, continuous damage effects, and scaling power, Constantine is an essential addition to your team. He can effortlessly clear enemies and control the battlefield, making him an S plus tier hero. In fact, compared to Joker, Constantine may even surpass him in some ranking aspects. If
Oh,
you're
I
looking for
can
a
do it!
versatile
It'll
and
be a
powerful magic damage
spree!
dealer, Constantine is the perfect choice.
I mean this in the best
Add him
possible
to your
way.
team and witness his
Up
destructive power in
yours!
action. Zatanna, a versatile support hero with impressive damage potential. Zatanna stands out as a multifunctional support hero with the ability to enhance her entire team, especially when paired with members of Justice League Dark. With her passive skill Epon, Zatanna increases spiritual amp for Justice League Dark allies by 10% every 4 seconds, stacking up to a maximum of 60%. This makes her an exceptional choice for prolonged battles where gradual power scaling is crucial. Her ability to boost single-target ATK and create clones is also noteworthy. She can both support her teammates and deal significant AoE damage. However, Zatanna's full potential is best realized in a Justice League Dark or Energy Wielder lineup. Outside of these team compositions, some of her abilities may not be fully optimized. Why Zatanna deserves S plus tier. Overall, Zatanna is a powerful and versatile support hero deserving of a high tier ranking. She not only strengthens her teammates by boosting both offense and defense, but also creates illusions to distract enemies. If paired with a hero capable of healing, her team would be incredibly difficult to defeat. Given her exceptional support capabilities, Zatanna absolutely earns her spot in the S plus tier. The Ultimate Assassin, Deathstroke, Master of Lethal Combat. Deathstroke is a master assassin, proficient in wielding various weapons from swords and guns to high-tech weaponry. His hand-to-hand combat skills are also extremely impressive, allowing him to take on formidable opponents. Superior strength. Thanks to the Ace Heat Serum, Deathstroke possesses strength, speed, and reflexes far beyond that of an ordinary human. His exceptional regeneration ability also enables him to survive even the most brutal battles. Genius strategist. Deathstroke is a brilliant tactician, capable of analyzing situations and making precise decisions. He can exploit enemy weaknesses and execute highly effective attack strategies. Diverse skill set. Slade's Blade and Eye on You demonstrate his immense physical damage potential. Stroke of Genius significantly boosts his attack power. Ash Serum enhances his regeneration ability. Synergy with different teams. Gains increased attack power when teamed with Weapon Masters. Gains increased evasion when paired with League of Assassins. Gains faster energy regeneration when in a Legion of Doom team. Tier S placement and future potential. Despite his incredible strengths, Deathstroke heavily relies on the Legion of Doom team, which currently lacks many powerful heroes. Because of this limitation, he is placed in Tier S for now. However, if stronger Legion of Doom heroes are introduced in the future, Deathstroke could potentially rise to S+ tier, or perhaps not. Sinestro, a high-damage single-target specialist. Sinestro is a powerful hero with exceptional single-target damage output. Deadly skill set. Bondage of Fear allows him to deal massive damage to a single target, quickly eliminating key enemies. Mind over Matter enables Sinestro to spread damage to multiple enemies, increasing his effectiveness in clearing the battlefield. Synergy-based strength. One of Sinestro's standout abilities is his team-based scaling. Fear Grows makes him significantly stronger when paired with multiple Legion of Doom allies. Additionally, Strong Will provides energy regeneration, allowing Sinestro to use his abilities more frequently and maintain strong combat presence. Versatility in battle. Sinestro is a flexible hero who can fill multiple roles, from being a primary damage dealer to offering support and sustain. Weaknesses and tier placement. Despite his strengths, Sinestro has some key weaknesses. Several of his skills depend on a Legion of Doom lineup, making him less effective in other team compositions. He lacks control effects like stun or slow, reducing his utility compared to other top-tier heroes. While Sinestro is a high damage dealer like Superman, he cannot be placed on the same tier because of his lack of crowd control. For the same reasons as Deathstroke, he will be placed in Tier S. However, if stronger Legion of Doom heroes emerge in the future, his ranking may improve. Scarecrow, the ultimate controller and support. Scarecrow is not only a powerful combatant, but also an exceptional controller and team supporter. Elite crowd control abilities. The Scent of Fear deals AoE damage and applies Scare, reducing enemy damage. If an enemy accumulates 4 stacks of Scare, they suffer mental breakdown, rendering them incapacitated and mentally weakened. Terror Strike and Haunting Visions further enhance his crowd control, applying Scare and reducing enemy men or ATK. Outstanding team support. Scarecrow excels in Arkham's Most Wanted team compositions. His passive skill Growing Terror boosts allies from Arkham's Most Wanted, while making him significantly tankier when using his ultimate. Tier S+ placement. With powerful CC abilities, team support, and incredible durability, Scarecrow deserves an S+ ranking. Although his effectiveness depends on team synergy, Arkham's Most Wanted already has many strong heroes, making him just as valuable as Joker. Final 3 heroes unranked for now. I currently don't have enough information to rank these last 3 heroes. However, Nightwing is expected to arrive soon, and new characters are often heavily buffed upon release. Because of this, I predict that Nightwing will likely be in S+ tier. As for the other 2 heroes, I'll wait for more details before assigning their rankings. Stay tuned. Ranking legendary heroes first. Before discussing mythic heroes, let's focus on legendary heroes first. Since legendary heroes are easier to obtain, most players will have a full set of them after just 2 to 3 weeks of gameplay. By ranking legendary heroes, I aim to help you optimize your team composition more effectively. Green Arrow, Tier B ranking. Green Arrow is one of the first heroes you receive at the beginning of the game. Strengths: high single target damage. Sharp Rain deals massive damage to a single target, making it great for eliminating key enemy heroes. Boxing Glove Arrow is another single target attack that can finish off low health enemies, AoE, area of effect. Damage: multitasking allows Green Arrow to hit multiple enemies, making him useful in large fights or for clearing minions. Critical Strike Boost, Watch and Learn increases his critical rate, enhancing overall damage output. Potential crowd control, depending on the game. Boxing Glove Arrow may have knock-up or knockback effects, providing an advantage in fights. Weaknesses: skill charging time. Boxing Glove Arrow requires charging, making it vulnerable to interruptions or enemy attacks. Limited AoE damage. While multitasking provides some AoE, it's not strong enough compared to other AoE-focused heroes. Low survivability. Green Arrow has low HP and defense, making him an easy target for enemy assassins. Final verdict. Tier B Green Arrow is a strong physical damage dealer, excelling in single target elimination. However, his low survivability, charge time vulnerability, and limited AoE damage prevent him from ranking higher. For these reasons, he is placed in Tier B. Wonder Woman, Tier A ranking. Wonder Woman is the second hero you receive at the start of the game. She is a strong tank with AoE damage, crowd control, shielding, and self-defense boosts, making her an excellent frontline protector. Strengths: strong AoE damage. Wonder Woman's attacks can hit multiple enemies, making her effective in large fights. Stun ability. Her skills can stun enemies, disrupting their attacks and providing control on the battlefield. Shield generation. She can generate a shield, increasing her survivability. Defense boost. When her HP drops below 70%, she automatically increases her defense, making her even harder to take down. Excellent for protecting rangers. As a reliable tank, she absorbs damage and shields her team, providing a solid frontline for ranged heroes. Weaknesses: limited healing. While she is tanky, she lacks self-healing, making her reliant on healers. Lower damage output. Compared to other AoE-focused heroes, her damage is not as high as her main role is tanking. Final verdict. Tier A Wonder Woman meets all the requirements of a strong tank, making her a valuable asset in any team composition. While she lacks self-healing, her stun, shields, and defense boost make her a solid choice for protecting allies. For these reasons, she is placed in Tier A. Next is Red Hood. You can obtain him early through event missions, and he can be upgraded to higher stars quickly. However, he is not highly rated because his ultimate ability makes him jump into the middle of enemy lines and deal AoE damage. Although his damage output is decent, his low HP and defense make him more of a suicide attacker. If he jumps in but fails to eliminate an enemy, your team essentially loses a slot. If you are playing in random auto mode, Red Hood is not an ideal choice. However, if you manually control him, you can reposition him behind enemy lines to take down key backline heroes, which can be highly advantageous. Despite having some strengths, he is still placed in Tier B because the game primarily relies on auto battle mechanics. Next is Captain Cold, an ice-type hero. He deals significant damage and can freeze enemies, making them take additional damage while frozen. This makes him a great support for melee allies like Batman and Superman. Thanks to his avalanche skill, you can position him in the front to absorb damage from melee heroes. After taking a hit, he will automatically reposition himself to the back, allowing melee allies to move forward. This helps distract opponents and create openings. However, the risk is that enemy ranged heroes might target him, and since he is a ranged hero himself, most of his stats are focused on ATK rather than durability. I personally like him, but I can only place him in Tier C, since there are still many heroes stronger than him. Next is Black Adam, an electric damage dealer. Overall, his two attack skills are nothing special, if not outright weak, since their damage radius is small and the damage output is lower compared to previous heroes. However, thanks to his fourth skill, which increases his attack by 30% at the start of the battle, I rank him at the same level as Captain Cold in Tier C. Some players might disagree with this ranking, but I honestly don't see him as a strong hero. Next is Vixen. You might be surprised by her ranking. She is a good support hero, but since she is melee and not a tank, she is too fragile. Her first and second skills both boost allies' attack power, and a 35% increase is no small number. Her second skill also allows her to dodge an enemy attack and reposition herself to buff a nearby ally's attack. However, if she faces an opponent with high survivability and strong damage output, she might not last long enough to apply multiple attack buffs. Since she is melee but not a tank, she is too easy to defeat. Because of this, I rank her in Tier A. Next is Adam. Although his two AoE attack skills deal very high damage, they are suicidal skills. Once he uses them, he leaves the battlefield. This means that if you don't build his attack power strong enough, he might end up being a wasted slot. Most teams have healing abilities, so if his suicide attack fails to eliminate enemies, you will be left fighting 4 versus 5. Because of this major drawback, I rank him in Tier D, the lowest tier. Catwoman, despite being a warrior with a single target damage skill, deals significantly less damage compared to other legendary heroes. She has a dodge skill to help her survive on the battlefield, but the dodge rate is only 30%, which is quite limited. She can also steal attack power, but it's just 12%, which isn't very high compared to many other heroes. One notable strength is her ability to jump behind enemy lines to target the enemy's ranged heroes. However, this advantage isn't enough to lift her out of Tier D. I think this ranking is well deserved. Killer Croc is a tanker, so he doesn't deal much damage since his stats naturally don't prioritize ATK. However, his first skill reduces the enemy's defense, making him a good support for his teammates. That said, the 30% reduction is quite low compared to other heroes. As a tanker, he takes a lot of damage from enemies but lacks any crowd control skills. His ultimate skill helps him survive longer, but I still don't rate him highly, so I will place him in Tier D. Mara is a powerful healer with almost all of her skills focused on restoring HP for her teammates. As I've mentioned before, a strong team needs a good healer, and Mara fits that role well. Additionally, she has high ATK due to her passive skill, which increases her attack by 20%. However, her healing range is not great, which limits her effectiveness. Because of this, I can only place her in Tier B, as there are many other heroes with better team healing capabilities. Now, let's talk about the mythic heroes that only require 10 shards to summon. Although they require fewer shards, evolving them to 5 stars is more difficult. This is because when you draw one of these 10 shard heroes, you only receive 10 shards, whereas for mythic heroes that require 40 shards, summoning grants 40 shards, making 5-star evolution much faster. Let's start with Poison Ivy. She is a powerful healer who excels in supporting allies and disrupting enemies. Thanks to her vine summoning abilities, she not only heals teammates, but also distracts opponents, increasing the survivability of her team. Her Blooming Ivy skill summons a plant beside an ally, which continuously heals surrounding teammates and applies the Ivy Bloom effect, granting health regeneration over time. Her fourth skill deals massive damage while also applying the Bewitch effect, which forces the target to move toward her, making it easier for allies to eliminate distant threats. Because of these strong utility and healing abilities, I rank her Tier Psi, and I believe many would agree with this placement. Green Lantern is also a support hero specializing in healing allies. His main focus is on restoring large amounts of HP, and if his healing exceeds the ally's max HP, it even grants them a shield for extra protection. Besides healing, he has one powerful single target attack, which deals considerable damage. His third skill provides continuous healing over time, and his fourth skill heals all Lantern allies, though currently he's the only Lantern hero in the game. However, in the future, more Lantern characters might be introduced. Given his exceptional healing and utility, I rank him tier S, the same as Poison Ivy. In fact, he might deserve an even higher ranking, so feel free to comment below if you think he belongs in S plus tier. Regarding Shazam, I've researched and checked multiple tier lists, and I noticed that he isn't highly rated. However, after facing him in battle and analyzing his skills, I actually think he's quite strong, especially as a tanker. The reason for this is that his first three skills all help him draw enemy attacks, generate shields, and deal damage while also moving forward, giving him more chances to engage enemy ranged heroes. What makes him truly special is his revival ability. I call it that for simplicity. When revived, he loses his energy bar and can only perform basic attacks, but it's still like having an extra hero on your team. Because of these strengths, I rank him in tier A. I'd love to place him higher, but there are still other heroes that outperform him. Regarding Batman, he can deal massive AoE damage and gains a significant attack boost when teamed up with Justice League, a faction that is already favored due to its many strong heroes. Additionally, he can dodge normal attacks every 6 seconds and increase his physical defense, which allows him to function as a solid off-tank. He also has a 50% chance to weaken enemy attacks, making him even more formidable. Because of these strengths, I rank him in tier 6, contrary to some other tier lists. Regarding Flash, as a big fan of the Flash series, I had high expectations for him. However, he is a pure support hero, so much so that when he is the last one standing, his skills become completely useless. His movement is also quite erratic, making him unsuitable for auto mode, which is the main way this game is played. While there are moments where manual control is possible, relying on auto mode with Flash is highly disadvantageous. If your strongest hero is at full energy and Flash uses his skill on them, it becomes nearly wasted. Despite having several high damage skills, his first skill is the most impactful, mainly for supporting Superman, Joker, and other powerhouses to make them even stronger. Because of these limitations, I place him in tier D, even though his skill set might look impressive on paper. Regarding Two-Face, he has AoE damage, though not particularly high. However, he applies the panic effect, which reduces the enemy's spiritual death, allowing allies to deal more damage. Unfortunately, this only reduces DF by 10%, which isn't very significant. His standout feature is the ability to inflict bleed with a 50% chance of triggering. Bleeding works similarly to poison or burn effects like those from Joker and Constantine, as it stacks damage over time. However, the main drawback is that the bleed effect only applies to enemies already under panic, making it situational. Since the chance of inflicting panic is only 50%, I place him in tier C, decent but not exceptionally strong. Regarding Penguin, he summons 3 penguins that each deal 600% damage, meaning that if there's only one target, like a boss, the total damage reaches 1,800%, which is an extremely high number. His second skill is an AoE attack, though its damage is only average. However, it has a 50% chance to slow enemies through the engine oil effect. Despite these strengths, the summoned penguins cannot be attacked, meaning they don't serve as damage absorbers like Ivy's vines. They act more like bombs rather than defensive units. Additionally, Penguin himself is quite fragile, and I've faced many teams that include him, but he often gets defeated easily. Because of these weaknesses, I place him in tier D. He has some strong points, but overall, he's not a reliable pick. Regarding Bane as a tanker, he is truly an excellent choice. While his damage output isn't high, his self-healing ability is what makes him exceptionally strong. He can restore 35% of his HP, making him incredibly durable. A well-balanced team always needs a healer, and if the team's healer remains alive, Bane becomes nearly invincible. Additionally, he has a skill that continuously heals himself for 5 seconds and reduces incoming damage by 30%. When his HP drops below 50%, his physical defense increases further. At the start of the match, he boosts the physical defense of the Arkham team, which includes powerful characters like Joker and Ivy. Because of his extreme survivability, I place him in tier. He is simply too difficult to defeat. Regarding Batgirl, she is primarily a support hero focused on boosting critical hit rate for her teammates. She works best in a Batman-themed team where, critical hit rate stacking is maximized. At the start of the battle, she also increases critical damage for 20 seconds, making her ideal for teams with high base damage, as it further amplifies their critical hits. While critical rate is important, I only place her in tier B because she lacks versatility and mainly benefits specific team compositions. She is a melee hero, making her vulnerable. If she's too weak, she might not survive long enough to provide her buffs effectively. About Cyborg, he is a debuff-focused hero who works exceptionally well with high physical damage heroes like Superman and Batman. His main strengths include inflicting vulnerability on multiple enemies, increasing the damage they take, having an AoE attack with moderate damage, a unique passive that allows him to regenerate 10% HP per second indefinitely when receiving a critical hit, as long as he has at least one ally alive, being especially useful in key battles by extending survivability, giving teammates more time to secure victory. Because of these advantages, he deserves a spot in Tier A. About Raven, she is a summoner and support healer, capable of restoring a large amount of HP to allies. Additionally, she transforms into a raven, flying above the battlefield, which helps her avoid damage. However, one of her skills swaps positions with an ally who has low HP. This mechanic is a major drawback, as supports typically have low survivability, and she might end up swapping with a tank or frontline hero, essentially sacrificing herself needlessly. Instead of swapping and healing afterward, it would be much better if she simply stayed at a ranged position and focused on healing. That said, she synergizes well with Superman, as swapping places with him can allow him to survive a few extra seconds, creating a strategic advantage. However, this niche utility isn't enough to place her in a higher tier. Because of these strengths and weaknesses, she belongs in Tier C. About Robin, he is a crucial asset to any team because he can target backline enemies, who are often the most dangerous. For example, Poison Ivy provides significant healing to her allies. If Robin jumps behind enemy lines and takes her down, the opposing team loses their healer, giving a massive advantage. At first glance, his 200% attack damage might seem low, but he delivers 9 slashes in total. If all 9 slashes land on a single target, that opponent is as good as defeated. Additionally, he has a powerful single target burst skill that deals 640% attack damage, as well as an AoE attack. His ultimate skill makes him an excellent fit for Batman-themed teams. If Batgirl is also present, his effectiveness increases dramatically, as she boosts both critical rate and critical damage. Because of his backline targeting ability, high burst damage, and synergy with Batman teams, I rank him in Tier A. About Deadshot, he is truly a destructive force. However, since I haven't obtained him yet, I'm not sure if he allows manual target selection or if he follows an attack range priority, meaning he might have to attack melee enemies first instead of being able to freely snipe any target like Robin. That said, his damage output is extremely high, and he also reduces the target's healing ability, making him even more lethal. Additionally, he gains increased accuracy at the start of the battle, and all his skills are focused on single target elimination. This level of power puts him on par with Deathstroke. Due to his high damage, healing reduction debuff, and accuracy boost, I place Deadshot in Tier C, ranking him one tier above Robin. About Aquaman, he is a battlefield controller. His Whirlpool skill pulls all enemies into a circle, dealing damage and disabling them for 4 seconds, preventing them from attacking or using skills. This effect is extremely beneficial for allies, as it disrupts the enemy team. However, this ability is a double-edged sword because it can disrupt your own strategy, accidentally pulling in your own ranged heroes as well. Since ranged heroes generally have low survivability, they might be eliminated quickly if caught in the vortex. Of course, the same risk applies to the enemy team. Additionally, his fourth skill activates when there are 5 Justice League heroes in the lineup, making his basic attacks much stronger. However, forming a full Justice League team is difficult unless you have a large collection of heroes with high star levels, which depends on luck and spending power. For these reasons, I place Aquaman in Tier B. He has great potential, but his team requirements and risk factors prevent him from ranking higher. About Dr. Fate, he is a tank who also supports other tanks in the team. His main strength lies in shielding allies, making him a powerful protector. He grants a shield to all allies equal to 40% of his own HP. This means the more HP he has, the stronger his shields will be. So focusing on HP build is crucial to maximize his team's survivability. Additionally, he has another skill that grants a shield to a single ally equal to 36% of his HP, further boosting their durability. He can also deal spiritual damage to a single target, but since he is a tank, this isn't his main focus. Tanks usually don't have high ATK, as prioritizing ATK would weaken their HP and DF, reducing their effectiveness as frontline protectors. His full potential is unlocked when combined with a Justice League Dark team, increasing his shield's strength significantly, up to 187.5%, making him even more valuable in specific team compositions. Due to his exceptional shielding abilities and team utility, I place Dr. Fate in tier. About Harley Quinn, she is a high damage dealer with strong single target and AoE attacks, making her a great burst DPS. Her first skill deals massive damage to one target and nearby enemies, making her a great combo partner with Aquaman, who gathers enemies into a single spot. Her second skill also delivers extremely high single target damage, reinforcing her role as a strong DPS. Normally, such a high damage character would be fragile, but she has a passive that heals herself for 20% of the damage she deals, making her surprisingly durable. Additionally, all Suicide Squad allies benefit from this healing effect, increasing the survivability of the entire team. She also gains energy whenever she defeats an enemy, but this ability is situational because she won't always land the final hit since the team shares damage output. The enemy team only has 5 heroes, meaning limited chances to trigger this effect. Due to her high damage output and strong self-sustain, Harley Quinn ranks in Tier A. While powerful, her energy gain passive isn't very impactful, preventing her from reaching Tier S. Now, it's Black Canary's turn. She has a notable effect called Silence. In some games I've played, silence prevents opponents from using skills permanently. If that were the case in this game, she would definitely be top tier. However, in this game, the effect only lasts for 6 seconds, and her damage isn't very high, even though it's AoE. Her second skill is also AoE, but reduces the enemy's accuracy for 5 seconds. If both skills are used together, they don't have much impact because once the accuracy reduction ends, the enemy can immediately use their skills without missing, making this effect less valuable. One good thing is that she reduces the enemy's attack at the start of the match, which helps her team survive longer. Additionally, she boosts her own physical defense, improving her durability. However, she still can't escape tier Dish because both of her active skills are not very effective. Talking about Lex Luthor, his first skill deals massive damage while also attacking an entire row of enemies. You can target the back row, which always has 3 enemies, making it a strong offensive tool. Additionally, his 2 passive skills allow him to use his skills faster, especially when paired with the Legion of Doom team. I will place him in Tier A because backline enemies are always dangerous, and eliminating them as early as possible is crucial. Tier A suits him well. Renfrew's Red Robin is a tanker, and he has a similar skill to Red Hood, where he jumps into the middle of the enemy formation. However, he ranks higher than Red Hood because, as a tanker, he has better survivability. By jumping into the enemy team, he forces them to focus on him, potentially ignoring other heroes. If you combine him with Red Hood and Cyborg, you can quickly defeat all enemies. However, if you fail to eliminate them fast, your team will be in danger. He can generate a shield for himself, so as long as he has a healer, he can disrupt the enemy formation effectively. However, he isn't strong enough for tier stress, so I will place him in tier A, ranking above Red Hood. Stargirl's skills may not seem very powerful at first glance. However, if you pay attention to her ability to remove debuffs, she can be an extremely annoying counter to heroes like Joker, Constantine, and Two-Face. This makes her very useful in certain matchups. That said, in the current meta, there aren't many heroes who apply stacking debuffs like the 3 mentioned above. In the future, she might move to a higher tier if more debuff-based heroes become common. Aside from that, her other skills mainly weaken enemy attack power, which helps increase her team's survivability. Uh, Decent utility, but not outstanding. Because of this, she will remain in tier C for now. There are 4 more heroes whose skills haven't been updated in the game yet, so I can't rank them at the moment. However, I believe they will likely be very strong. Once the game updates their skills, I will update this tier list accordingly. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope this was helpful for you. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to support me. Once again, thank you.